Hi, everyone. I'm Mitch Jurisich, and welcome to Hooked on the Niners.
And I'm Jerry Walker, and it's the Mitch and Jerry Show. Welcome to Hooked on the Niners, and we're going to talk about Washington, D.C., the Redskins, Monday Night Football, the Rams, St. Louis. We're going to talk about it all.
We're going to do all of that. We're going to be doing a lot of talking because no one else is here. Terrell is off on assignment in Minnesota, enjoying his family for the holidays, and a couple of guys that we asked to be here didn't show up.
The Browns brothers.
Yeah, the Brown brothers. Yeah, exactly. So it'll be Jerry and I will have a lot of fun. We got more stuff that's going to go into that museum that Jerry's going to show us. Come on back and watch right here on Hooked on the Niners.
Hooked on the Niners is supported by the Canyon Inn, 650-369-1646, and on the web at www.canyoninn.com. Bach Construction, 650-344-4844, or on the web at www.bachconstruction.com. Lawson's Wildlife Adventures, 650-504-3400. On the web at www.lawsonwildlifeadventures.com. Tisa's Pepper Jelly, 650-787-2357. And on the web at tisaspepperjelly.com.
Hi, I'm Katie Roletto, and I'm a local professional media producer. Thanks to Penn TV's volunteer program, I was able to expand upon my experience and gain some amazing training in the areas of television production right here in the Bay Area. The staff at Penn TV is very skilled and experienced in all aspects of technical production and really helped me learn and grow. If you're interested in finding out more about Penn TV's volunteer program, please visit them at www.penntv.tv and click on the volunteer tab. Thanks, Penn TV.
All right, welcome back to Hooked on the Niners. And Jerry, you being involved with the 49ers for many years as the PR director, Washington was always a tough place to play. Very loud, boisterous fans. 49ers go in there on the road, hostile environment, cold weather, and they win the game. And I know, as you say, a win in the NFL is wonderful.
Well, it doesn't matter who you're playing.
Yeah.
A win is a win. A victory is a
Yeah.
victory. But I just want to start the show by giving you a number.
Okay.
134.5.
134.5. This doesn't involve the Richter scale.
No, it could a
Hopefully.
little bit. It's
Okay.
it's a quarterback rating for one Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
He's playing such bad football lately. I just don't understand why he's playing so poorly. 134.5 quarterback rating. He couldn't do better than that? Well, it was only a career best, but he couldn't do better than that?
Well, you know what? And I've been somebody that's been after him a little bit. I think it stems from, and this will get back into the game, how he comports himself in the postseason post-game interviews. And you being an old PR director, I'm sure that you would have a little tug on him and say, hey, look, smile once in a while. More than 2 words. I think that's where people start to pick on him because we all want to love our heroes. And I understand he is just a fabulous, fabulous young guy.
Yep.
But it doesn't come across to me at home.
Well, and that's you're completely correct. Wow,
Yep.
did I just say that?
Yeah, boy.
Jeez.
Let me write this down. On November.
Yeah, he's a great kid, and teammates love him, the coaches love him, staff loves him, everybody loves the kid. Good athlete. Great athlete.
Yeah.
And he may have been struggling a little bit lately, but a quarterback gets too much credit for a win.
Yeah.
Gets too much blame for a loss. It's the coach and the quarterback. It's always their fault.
Right.
But I was happy to see him put together a good game statistically.
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, sweet.
And the one to Bolden was just on, I think it was, if memory serves, it was on consecutive plays.
Yeah.
2 just absolute arrows
Yeah.
that he threw to Bolden.
And he threw a couple passes that should have been caught too.
Yes.
He was really on target.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sure he'll get that stuff straightened out. At some point, somebody in the 49er organization is going to see those interviews and just say, hey, maybe we need to lighten it up a little bit. I mean, I even watched the game the other night where Bill Belichick was happy and he left the podium laughing. So, I mean, if that old sourpuss can come around, I think we can teach a young guy like Kaepernick to kind of enjoy the moment. Because, you know, he is one of 32 quarterbacks, the number one guy on a team in the number one sport. You know, that says an awful lot, I think.
It does, and I think that's his game face, so to speak.
Yeah.
I think he's still got his game face on at that point, and you know the head coach doesn't give away a whole lot at a press conference either.
No.
So you kind of follow suit there, and if it's working, it's working, and I guess 7 wins, it's working.
Yeah, but the coach has got he's got a subliminal sense of humor in there that if you look at it carefully, a lot of times he's making a little fun. But anyhow, as we said, a win. It was on the road and it was a good win. Now to 7-4, right back in the playoff hunt. One of the things I'll take away from this game, and maybe I'm overstating this, is we got our pass rush back. Aldon Smith looked like. You know, and I was hoping we have Dennis Brown here tonight. Didn't show up, but that's okay. We'll take it out of his check. What's that old song, Nothing from Nothing? Well, anyhow, yeah, nothing. That when he came back after, you know, he was off for a while, you know, recuperating or recovering, that he wasn't in game shape. There's a big difference between being in shape and game shape, and I guess he's now in game shape.
I guess so. The one sack he had, did you see how fast he was?
Unbelievable.
It was like a blur on my television.
Unbelievable.
It was like, oh my goodness.
The one that was a decleater.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
He hit him. Well, maybe no, that wasn't a sack. That was the interception.
Pass, yeah.
That was after the pass.
Yeah.
That was another one where he was just a blur.
Yeah.
And just absolutely amazing. And somebody that you have to talk about and should be talked about, I think, nationally, is Ahmad Brooks. I think that guy has arrived as a force.
I think so too, and I think you ask a couple offensive formations, offensive coaches around the league, and they'd say yes, he's a force.
Absolutely.
But that whole group of players, I mean, Navarro Bowman.
Yeah, oh.
And Patrick, I mean, every now and then you actually even say to yourself, oh yeah, Patrick Willis.
Right.
Because Navarro Bowman is just playing his booty off.
We got a guy that's probably the best of the bunch, and he's kind of an afterthought. You know, I was listening to the radio on the way here to do the show today, and they were making the comment that this might be the best set of linebackers since the New Orleans Saints, who had Vaughn Johnson, Ricky Jackson, Pat Swilling, and itty bitty Sam Mills, who was about this big, right? There might be something to that. This group is definitely faster than those guys, I think.
Oh yeah, I was I think so. Somewhere along the line, we talked about Carolina's linebackers being
impressive.
impressive.
We did. Yeah, the two inside ones.
Yeah, I think our set is more impressive than anybody.
And you know, that's the impressive part about the 49ers too, is the defense. You know, after the New England game last year when Justin Smith got hurt, they kind of went on a little slide. You know, that even in the Super Bowl game, it wasn't the dominant defense. In fact, remember when we didn't score down on the 5-yard line? I remember a lot of us wanted them to score and take some time off the clock because we thought Baltimore could come back pretty easily.
Yeah.
But I think they've got their swagger and their sting back. I think that defense could carry us a long way. It's a matter of the offense catching up.
I think the thing about the defense is individually they're all great athletes.
Yeah.
Great athletes. They would probably be the best at their position on other teams.
Right.
But together they're even more impressive, more
Absolutely.
so. It's like Big Hands Johnson and
Right.
Fred Dean. Fred used to say, Big Hand, this would be on a flight to a game or after a game, a flight home, and they both had played well.
Yeah.
And Fred would say, you know, Big Hands, he plays so well because everybody worry about Fred.
Yeah.
And then Big Hands would say to me, whoa, wait. The reason Fred gets in there so quickly is they're all double teaming me. So, you know, you think about how to stop that defense.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, how do you stop them?
Well, let them argue.
Yeah.
Who cares who's the reason
so
for
it's
it? We're getting
thing.
sacks.
It's like, is it Patrick? Is it Navarro? Is wow? I
It's
mean,
all of those things.
Yeah.
All of those things. And when you stop and think about it, there's no Chris Culliver. We played without Terrell Brown last night. Ian Williams, you know, the nose tackle out, and I'm probably leaving somebody else out that wasn't in the game or available to us. So they're having a lot of the next guy step up and do your job.
Yeah.
So defensively, and didn't correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Vic Fangio coach those linebackers in New Orleans? I may be wrong.
I don't know. I don't know, but we should check into that.
Yeah, we
We'll
probably
Google
should.
that.
Yeah, we'll Google that. We can't do that before the end of the show. We'll do that probably a month or so, and let you know. We're a little slow on the uptake. The offense, you know, we again week after week after week we say they don't have anybody to take the top off of the opposing defense, and the other team is just lining up 8 in the box, 10 in the box, and daring us to run. The running game wasn't there last night.
But the passing game was.
Well, see, there you go.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You adjust to whatever they're trying to throw against you.
Yeah.
And now we got the news of Crabtree's coming back this week.
Right.
And Manningham looked pretty good.
He did.
The more experience, the more you can get loose, the more you get back into. It's like Alden Smith, get back into game shape, game mind. He's just going to get better and better as the season goes on.
LaMichael James, returning punts and straight up the field. You know, had a beauty down the sideline. I don't know, one for about 30-something yards.
Yeah,
you know, and I thought it was interesting what Coach Harbaugh said in the post-game interview. He was talking about the punt returner gaining first downs as he was returning. You know, like if he returns at 10 yards, he got us a first down.
Yeah.
20 yards, he got us. And then he said at one point he got us 3 first downs on one return, which is an interesting way to look at that.
It's a very cool way to look at it. And I shouldn't say this after I just said it was a cool way to look at it, but
yeah.
I've thought of that too myself.
Did you really?
It's like every time you get a big play, you should get credit for those first downs.
Right.
In other words, I run the ball or I catch a ball from Cap 40 yards down the field, that's 1 first down. I should get credit for 4 first downs.
That seems logical to me. Well, and maybe this is a well-known fact, maybe it isn't. But if you're on the 1-yard line and you score a touchdown, they count that as a first down.
If it's first and goal at the 1.
Right, first and goal at the 1.
Yeah.
All right, okay. When we come back, we'll do a little bit of show and tell. Jerry's got some more things that are going into the museum down at the new 49er Stadium, and then later on we'll talk about the Ram game, because this is Ram Week right here on Hooked on the Niners.
Hooked on the Niners is supported by California Catering, San Mateo, 650-345-4881. On the web at CaliforniaCateringSanMateo.com. California Catering, South San Francisco, 650-589-0729. On the web at www.california-catering-company.com. California Catering, Emerald Hills, 650-369-4200. On the web at www.cacateringcompany.com. Bay 101 Casino, 408-451-8888. On the web at bay101.com. Check out the Peninsula TV studio with over 2,000 square feet of space in the auditorium of the Samtrans building in San Carlos. One studio, many looks. From a simple talk show to an onstage production, from musical performances to business webcasts, PowerPoint presentations, Skype interviews. With our state-of-the-art control room, we're one mouse click away from going live from our studio to the internet or to Peninsula TV. For more information, call 650-637-1936 or use the Contact Us form at pentv.tv.
All right, welcome back to Hooked on the Niners. We're so excited about this stuff that's going into the museum. Jerry's already got one on the table for display. He couldn't wait, so we'll cut right to it. Now, I remember that play.
A few people would remember this play, and of course this play is going to be a theme throughout the Hall of Fame Museum.
Of course it is, yeah.
I mean, you think about the 49ers, you think about this play.
Absolutely you do.
We're obviously going to take care of, celebrate, and honor all the teams and all the big plays and all the big games up to 1981.
Right.
But 81 sort of starts the glory years.
It does.
And it's hard to talk about glory years without thinking Super Bowls.
Right.
And this play. And I don't know if the camera can show it or not, but this has a little bit of dust on it. That dust is from 711 Nevada Street.
711 Nevada.
So
which was the old headquarters for the 49ers before they got the new one.
Exactly. And this picture, this framed artifact,
yeah,
used to hang on the walls down there. And Coach Walsh every now and then actually hung outside my office for a while. Coach Walsh would walk by, and he was notorious. People always said that they wouldn't let him in the Louvre in France because they were afraid he would straighten pictures. But he'd walk by my office maybe I don't know how many times a day, but probably every 2 or 3 times by, he'd stop and he'd adjust the picture a little bit.
Yeah.
As a hair off.
Yeah. Now listen, that's a nice thing to know about Coach Walsh, but you're not getting off that easy. You're one of those guys too. If I had a nickel for every time you straighten the pictures in my office, I just want to say, sit down, damn it, leave this stuff alone.
So I'm putting this down now.
Okay, sure, yeah, we can put that down. And you've got other stuff over there. And this must be fun for you, going on these, I'm going to call it shopping sprees and meeting people and getting all these artifacts and things for the museum. This is just absolutely incredible stuff. What do you got there?
This is.
We're probably going to have to tip that forward too.
This is a sketch by Murray Olderman.
Oh. This
is the original sketch, and we used it in a program back in the day, at, one of the home game programs.
Wow, what a depiction of Bill.
And I don't know if you can read it from there. I don't have my glasses on. They're on my neck somewhere.
Yeah, the genius of Bill Walsh lies not only in the play patterns that flit across his brainwave lengths for the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that is cool stuff. And a little thing of Joe Montana down there.
So this is original, that was used in one of the game day programs back in the 80s.
Okay.
And let me go to this one. Let me save this one for last. I like this one.
What is that?
So
that's not a record.
This is a record album.
The record's in there?
It is. It's an LP.
Okay, can we show that?
LPs?
Because we've probably got people out there under 30 years of age that don't know what this is.
I should have my gloves on.
That is a vinyl disc. My God.
So what it is a vinyl disc of the season. I think one side's like the season leading up to the playoffs, and the other side is the playoffs, including the Super Bowl from Super Bowl 16, 1981.
Yeah.
So
got Don Klein.
Don Klein.
Wow.
Does the voice? It's all radio clips. Don Klein. And, and Walker.
And Wayne Walker.
Wayne Walker.
Yeah.
From '81.
Old double nickel.
Yeah. And so it's like all the big calls, all the big plays.
That is neat.
And this is one. Well, look at this guy. That's Billy Ring. Huh?
Billy Ring. Yeah. Bill Ring. That's the game against Cincinnati that he had such a huge game. He had a lot to do with winning that.
So you'd think when you're in college at BYU, someday I want to be on a record album. What?
That's probably not what most people have in mind.
So Don Klein, Wayne Walker, Bill Walsh.
Look at the young Eddie DeBartolo on there. That is just absolutely fabulous.
And this is kind of like what's that guy do on the X Factor? I mean, on The Voice.
Oh.
This was written by Jerry Walker.
Oh, nice. There you go. Nice.
It didn't sell many copies. I didn't get much royalties out of it.
I'll give you $10 for that one.
It's worth way more than 10.
Okay.
So I got a couple of Sports Illustrateds. We're going to have probably all the best Sports Illustrateds that the Niners were on the covers of. Mm-hmm. You know these guys?
Well, Ken Willard.
Ken Willard.
And I think that is the Fudge Hammer? Or is that Matt Hazeltine?
Well, I don't know. It's
53. 55 would have been Matt Hazeltine or Skip Vanderbunt.
Might be Skip, but it's probably special teams if it's got those two guys together on it.
Interesting. Yeah.
But the story is basically about the team itself, and it's about Willard, and it's. Can you guess the year? You know more about the Niners than I do.
Well, Willard, I think, was drafted in '64.
Okay.
Something like that.
And this is from October 11th, 1965.
Okay.
So that's 50 years ago almost.
Yeah. Ken Willard, I believe, out of North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken.
Look at the background looks almost like empty seats.
Empty seats. No, that's a good depiction, because in '64 and '65 there weren't a lot of people sitting out there at Kezar.
So this is.
That's one of my favorites.
It's a great Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's got one of our favorite players on it.
Yeah.
And it's talking about
Roger Craig.
Roger Craig, and it's talking about the Super Bowl at Stanford Stadium.
At Stanford.
Super Bowl 19. But the best part about this is the mailing label.
And it's to
the Walsh family.
Oh.
10055 Valparaiso, Menlo Park.
Nice.
So this was mailed to Bill Walsh a week after his team won a Super Bowl just down the road.
Dismantled the Dolphins. We ran into to Roger up at the book signing for Dan Brown's book, The 100 Things That 49er Fans Should Know or Do Before They Die. And
we're not supposed to plug that today.
Yeah, we're not plugging that because he didn't show up. But anyhow, ran into Roger, and a lot of people remember Roger's the first guy to gain 1,000 yards rushing and receiving in a single season. And I brought up he's also the first guy to score 3 touchdowns in a Super Bowl.
He liked that when you brought that up.
Yeah, he wanted me to be his PR guy, but he didn't like the percentage I was charging. So go ahead.
So the way we've laid out our museum and the thought behind it is, rather than tell stories about like yesterday's game, 3 touchdown passes,
right,
a 134.5 passing rating, quarterback rating, instead of going that way, we're going to go with different. What's happening in the times? What's going on? Different short stories and sidebar stories on different players and coaches and staff, and tie it in with the history of the team that way.
Oh, kind of like recently we celebrated the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Kennedy, and there were a lot of stories that had what was going on that year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and so we'll probably tie that into that year too in the 60s.
Sure.
But this is a Life magazine from when the Giants moved to San Francisco.
Came to San Francisco.
And it's a welcoming parade, and that's Willie Mays right there.
Wow, Willie Mays.
And you have a pennant from that year.
I have a pennant from 1958. I was at the first game.
And
First game in 58.
This is April 28th, 2 days after my birthday.
Yeah.
1958, 25 cents.
25 cents for a Life magazine.
Yeah, and it's
I think that magazine would garner more than 25 cents.
Yeah.
No question. That is a great idea. That's great stuff. Which brings me to, as being the archivist for the team, and I'll call you the curator of the museum, going out and getting all this stuff and all the wonderful trips and whatnot. This just isn't something that they said, here's your square footage and fill it. There's definite planning that goes into this. You know, you got to have the hands-on interaction stuff. You got to have the videos. You got to have the sound. You have to have these kinds of things. This is well planned out.
Yes. Recently, I was in Pacific Grove for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
While I was down there, I went to the aquarium in Monterey. What a great aquarium.
Sure.
A lot of that aquarium was designed by C7 architects, Cambridge 7 architects out of Massachusetts near Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Those are our architects for the Hall of Fame Museum.
Wow.
We also have a media group out of Virginia, Cortina. They're doing all the interactive and all the media stuff. And we also have people in Canada working on displays.
Right.
Well, we can talk about it more later.
Yeah.
I could see the way you were leaning back and sitting straight. It was like, all right, wrap it up.
They're giving me the hook.
I feel like Dennis Brown.
I'm enjoying it. The crew just has had about enough.
I feel like Dennis Brown. I'm talking too much.
When we come back, we'll talk more with Jerry, and we'll preview the Rams right here on Hooked on the Niners. No, this is really, can I look at this?
Yep.
This is my man right
I
here.
know.
This is my guy. Good night, nurse. He just looks like a baseball player.
He just looks like an athlete.
He does.
Hooked on the Niners is supported by Parkside Grill, 650-529-9007. On the web at www.parksidegrill.net. Handlery Hotel, 1-800-995-HUSH. The website is www.handlery.com. Poplar Creek Golf Course, 650-522-4653. And on the web at www.poplarcreekgolf.com. Eddie Perez and Company, 650-363-5904. On the web at www.eperezpainting.com. Armstrong Carpet and Linoleum Company, 415-751-2827. On the web at www.armstrongcarpet.com.
All right, welcome back to Hooked on the Niners. That was, Jerry, that was great stuff. Now, we'll obviously the museum will be available for people to see before maybe even the stadium opens.
Well, we'll probably have some kind of soft openings.
Right.
Maybe some special events there.
Maybe for season ticket holders or something like that?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Definitely for people who have supported us and donated stuff and loaned us stuff.
Right.
And a lot of things still in the planning. We're still a little bit away, but we're aiming at July. We've actually started selecting items to be displayed. Let me think how to say that. We were actually building displays for items that we've selected to be in there.
To put on display.
And so I'm feeling a little pressure about that. It's like, oh no, like tonight we're going to meet and we're going to talk about 97 through 2002.
Oh, so you do it in stages?
Yeah.
Oh,
the first stage we did was the 80s. We just kind of went to my garage and backed the truck up.
So you guys have probably had 2 or 3 meetings.
Yeah. Yeah.
per morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Ram Week coming up. There was a different feeling in the building when it was Ram Week, wasn't there?
Yeah, and there will be this week.
Yeah.
Plus, it'll be a little bit of a short week.
Yeah.
Because of playing on Monday and traveling. And the Rams are better than they were the first time around this year.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a tough week. You got to keep it going now.
Well, you know, Kellen Clemens at quarterback, you would say, well, this is, you know, should be a piece of cake. But they have played solid football the last couple of weeks, and their defensive front, my goodness gracious, they are tremendous, absolutely tremendous. And they can go get a quarterback. So if they're ever going to unleash Colin, you know, this might be the week.
This might be the week. And and their coaching staff. Their coaching staff is one of the best in the division, one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
But they also seem to, every team they play, they seem to match up so well with.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not getting hammered by anybody.
No.
They're beating some good teams.
Right.
And they just seem to, it's almost Jeff Fisher.
2 minutes!
Oh, my goodness.
Goodness gracious.
There's
All
only-
you had to do was give me the signal.
Yeah.
That would have been fine. Gee, many Chris. Yeah. Thank God you put up 2. I remember, I can't remember where we were, but you and I were out to lunch someplace when we got the news that Jeff Fisher was signed by the Rams, and we both went, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Because that's a quality guy. He's got ties to the 49ers.
Yes, he does.
You know, didn't he play in the same defensive backfield as Ronnie Lott
Yes.
at USC?
Yes.
Along with Dennis Thurman?
Dennis Thurman.
Yeah.
And somebody, and one more player, too.
Okay, well, we'll look that up
I'll
in
think of
Google.
it.
We'll let you know in a month.
That team had something like 12 pro players on it that season.
Yeah. One quick one before we get to making predictions and all that nonsense. Stupid question for me. Do the players get part of Thanksgiving Day off, or is that just a regular practice day?
Stupid question deserves a stupid answer.
Okay.
They usually try to keep them busy enough that they're not going to be laying around watching television, especially if it's an coming opponent.
Right.
But they try to get them a little bit of time. So each coach is different, and it depends on what the team has done recently.
Yeah.
If they need a break, you know, are they worn out? Are there a lot of injuries?
Right.
I don't know what's happening this Thursday, but my guess would be they don't get the whole day off. They either come in late, get Thanksgiving early in the day with their family, or come in early and get Thanksgiving dinner
Later.
late.
Yeah.
I'll find out, and we'll talk about that too.
Okay.
That's 3 things I got to look up
That's 3
now.
things we've got to remember, which we won't. We got about 30 seconds left. I think it goes safe to say that we both think the 49ers are going to win the game. I think this could be closer than people think, and I think it could be pretty low scoring. I'm thinking this could be a 17-14, 20-16, somewhere along those lines.
It could be.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a blowout. I think the Niners are going to blow them out.
Nice.
I mean, even after I said all those nice things about Jeff and his staff and all that.
If
I think the
it
Niners
is
are
a
gonna win
blowout,
big.
I'll bring you an extra piece of pumpkin pie when next we meet.
Woo-hoo.
All right, that's it for our show this week. From all of us here, all the crew and everybody, there's thousands of us. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend.
Yes.
We'll see you next time after we blow out the Rams right here on Hooked on the Niners. Blowout. I think that's the first time you've ever said that.
I just kind of got that feeling.
You got the sense, huh?